A routine dive in British Columbia's cold waters took an unexpected turn when a young humpback whale swam up to a diver and wouldn't leave. This wasn't curiosity, it was a silent plea for help. Beneath its body, covered in thousands of barnacles, lay a shocking discovery that sparked a race against time. What was uncovered? Stay tuned. The sun's rays pierced the water, casting quirky light patterns across the surface of Howe Sound. While diving in the chilly waters off the coast of British Columbia, Mark Anderson had no idea that this ordinary September day was about to change his life. With over 10 years of diving experience, hundreds of dives, and thousands of underwater photos under his belt, nothing could have prepared him for what he was about to encounter. That day, the visibility was exceptional, about 30 meters. The water was cold, just 12 degrees Celsius, but crystal clear. Mark swam leisurely through forests of seaweed, aiming his camera at glowing starfish scattered along the rocky seabed. He spotted a small group of sea cucumbers and moved in to take some close-up shots. Then he felt it, an almost imperceptible shift in the water's movement. Something big was nearby. Mark turned slowly, expecting a curious seal or maybe a small whale, common in these waters. But what he saw took his breath away. A young humpbacked whale, only about 12 feet long, hovered just a few yards away. Its movements were odd, unlike the usual graceful behavior of these majestic creatures. But what he saw took his breath away. Do you think animals like whales are more intelligent than we give them credit for? Share your thoughts on animal intelligence. The calf moved around awkwardly, keeping its eyes locked on the diver as if making sure it was being watched. Its small, unusually expressive eyes for such a massive creature seemed to radiate worry, almost pleading for help. Mark held his breath and turned on the camera. It was incredible to have such a close encounter with a wild whale calf, but the animal didn't seem interested in being filmed. The whale swam closer, almost brushing Mark with its huge fin before gliding away in a wide arc, only to return. This happened several times, and it became clear the whale was trying to communicate something. After the 5th or 6th approach, the calf suddenly changed direction and swam off deliberately. After going about 20 meters, it stopped and turned, checking to see if the diver was following. Mark hesitated. Chasing a wild animal in open water can be risky, but something about the calf's behavior, almost desperate, made Mark feel he had to act. He checked his gauge and compass, then began following his unexpected companion. They swam northeast, drifting farther from the shore. The water deepened and the sunlight began to fade. Every 30 to 40 meters, the calf paused, letting Mark catch up and make sure he was still close behind. With the barnacles finally cleared from one area, Mark knew the job was far from over. What would he discover when he tried to tackle the rest of the whale's body? Before exploring, I have a special 10-second request for all of you listening. If you can help me in any way, just hit the notification bell and hit that subscribe button. It helps this channel so much. And if you do that, I will do everything I can to make this show even better for you. Deal? After swimming more than 500 meters, they reached a small underwater valley. In the shallow water, Mark saw something that sent a chill through him. A massive humpback whale, at least 14 meters long, suspended almost motionless. From a distance, its body appeared covered in a strange gray mass. As Mark moved closer, he realized it was barnacles. But these weren't the usual small patches seen on whales. This was a thick, solid layer, several centimeters deep in some areas, coating nearly the entire body, except for small spaces near the eyes and blowhole. The calf swam toward the larger whale, likely its mother, and nudged her gently, as if encouraging her to move. But she barely responded. Even through the water, Mark could tell her breathing was slow and irregular. Realizing the urgency, he cautiously approached. His hands trembled slightly as he reached for the titanium tool strapped to his belt. He knew that such extreme barnacle growth could signal a serious underlying health issue. Normally, a whale's strong immune system keeps such parasites at bay. Something had weakened her. Carefully, Mark began removing the largest clusters of barnacles. The task was physically demanding. He had to be gentle enough not to damage the whale's skin, yet forceful enough to remove the hardened growth. The calf stayed close, circling protectively and letting out soft vocalizations that echoed through the water. The mother barely moved, occasionally blinking her massive eye as Mark came into view. After nearly 30 minutes of focused work, Mark had cleared an area about the size of a dining table. But as Mark worked to clear the barnacles, he couldn't shake the feeling that something far more dangerous was lurking beneath the surface. What would he discover next? But that was just a drop in the ocean. The massive whale's body was still almost completely covered in barnacles. Mark knew he couldn't handle this alone. On top of that, his air gauge was nearing empty. He surfaced quickly and got his bearings. Back on the boat, he grabbed the radio and called for marine mammal rescue. His voice shook with urgency as he explained the situation. "This is Mark Anderson, certified diver. I'm about a mile northeast of the entrance to Howe Sound. I've found an adult humpback whale in serious condition. Its body is almost entirely covered in barnacles and it's barely moving. There's a calf nearby, too." Fortunately, an experienced specialist was on the other end of the line. After confirming the whale's size, condition, and location, the rescue team said they'd be on site within the hour. That hour felt endless. Mark kept diving down with just a mask to make sure the whales were still there. The calf seemed to sense that help was on the way. It stayed close to its mother, no longer splashing or circling, just gently nudging her side with its fin now and then. But what the team found next would completely change the course of this rescue. Exactly 53 minutes later, a specialized marine mammal rescue vessel appeared on the horizon. On board were 6 professionals, 2 veterinarians specializing in marine life, 3 rescue divers, and a whale behavior expert. After a quick assessment, the team got to work. 2 divers entered the water with specialized equipment to begin removing the barnacles. Their tools were far more effective than the knives Mark had used. They employed hydraulic scrapers designed to safely remove the parasites without damaging the whale's skin. The process was slow but steady, with the divers rotating shifts every hour. Mark, having received permission from the incident commander, joined in to assist wherever he could. The calf remained nearby, observing the entire operation closely. Once most of the barnacles had been cleared, the veterinarians conducted a more thorough examination. That's when they noticed a small bump on the whale's side, unusual for this species. Using a portable underwater ultrasound device, they discovered signs of a possible foreign object inside the whale's stomach. After a brief discussion, the team made a careful decision. The whale would need further evaluation and treatment at a nearby marine mammal rehabilitation center. The rescue boat began preparations to transport the whale safely for urgent care. Have you ever had an unexpected encounter with nature? Share your wildest wildlife story in the comments below. We'd love to hear how the animal kingdom surprised you. What happened next shocked everyone on board. Was it too late to save her? It was a complicated and delicate situation. The whale was weak, and even minor stress could have been life-threatening. But there was no other choice. Without immediate intervention, her chances of survival were very low. Using a specialized inflatable support system and a gentle towing method, the rescue team carefully guided the whale to shore. The calf followed closely, never straying more than a meter away. Once at the Marine Rehabilitation Center, the veterinary team got to work. What they discovered inside the whale shocked everyone. A large piece of industrial fishing net, heavily contaminated with toxic substances. Lab analysis revealed the net had been treated with harmful anti-fouling agents including tributyltin, one of the most damaging pollutants in marine ecosystems. "This is like a ticking time bomb," said Dr. Chen, the lead veterinarian, as he reviewed the lab reports with Mark. When the whale ingested the net, the chemicals began breaking down in her stomach and entered her bloodstream. Over time, the toxins had accumulated in her fat tissues, affecting her entire body. Tests showed significant strain on her organs, including an enlarged liver and signs of inflammation. The kidneys are under a lot of stress and her immune system is severely weakened. "That's likely why the barnacle infestation became so severe," explained Dr. Haza. "If we hadn't intervened when we did, just a few more days could have made recovery impossible." Dr. Chen added, "Her muscle weakness and limited movement are due to the high toxin levels. Her system was on the brink of collapse." Mark looked at the piece of net under a microscope. Under the lab lights, chemical traces embedded in the synthetic fibers were visible. One of the lab technicians explained, "These kinds of coatings were banned in many countries years ago because of how dangerous they are to marine life. Unfortunately," he added, "some manufacturers still use them in places with weaker environmental regulation." For the next 3 weeks, the whale and her calf remained in a specialized recovery tank. Mark visited almost daily, helping with their care and filming their gradual recovery. Over time, the whale's condition improved, her wounds healed, her appetite returned, and her toxin levels began to drop. Throughout it all, the calf never left her side. The staff admired the young whale's loyalty and intelligence. If she hadn't worked so hard to get someone's attention, one of the rescuers said, "We might never have known her mom was in trouble." By mid-October, with all health indicators back to normal, the team decided to release both whales back into the wild. But what would happen when the gates opened? Would they make it out alive? The day was warm and unusually clear. Dozens of people gathered on the beach to witness the emotional moment. Mark was on one of the support boats, capturing every second with his camera. When the gates of the rehabilitation pool opened, the whales didn't rush out right away. Instead, they lingered near the entrance, almost as if they were taking a moment to understand what was happening. Then, in perfect sync, the mother whale and her calf dove forward and began swimming toward the open ocean. After a short distance, they paused. Both whales leaped from the water one after the other, landing with huge splashes. For everyone watching, it felt like a farewell and a thank you. Together, they slowly swam north, beginning their long journey to their winter home near Hawaii. In the months that followed, the whale rescue story appeared in scientific journals and environmental magazines. Experts focused on the calf's rare and extraordinary behavior in seeking help, a testament to the intelligence of these remarkable animals. Mark kept following their journey closely. Thanks to tracking devices placed before the release, scientists were able to monitor the whale's migration. The data confirmed that both whales made it safely to Hawaii, joining a large pod of humpbacks. Then, something incredible happened. The following summer, while diving in his usual spot, Mark noticed two familiar shapes near the surface. As he approached by boat, he realized it was them. The mother and her calf, now healthy and strong, had returned. Aside from a small scar, a reminder of the life-saving surgery, the mother looked vibrant. They stayed near Mark's boat for nearly an hour, giving him the chance to take new photos and capture the moment. Even the calf, now much larger, swam right up and gently touched the boat with its fin. This story isn't just about a successful marine rescue. It's a reminder of the deep bond between humans and wildlife. Thanks to one diver's compassion and the dedication of a skilled rescue team, two incredible animals got a second chance at life. If you think nature has a way of surprising us when we least expect it, make sure to hit like and subscribe. You won't want to miss the incredible wildlife moments we share every week. And in the most unexpected turn of events, Mark's life would change forever. For Mark Anderson, that day beneath the surface changed everything. Before the rescue, he was a seasoned diver with a camera and a passion for the sea. But after witnessing both the suffering and the resilience of that mother whale and her calf, something inside him shifted. He left his old job behind and joined the Marine Mammal Rescue Center, the very team that had helped save those whales. Now, Mark spends his days on the front lines of ocean conservation, assisting in whale disentanglements, responding to beach strandings, and helping injured seals, dolphins, and porpoises along the Pacific coast. His photographs, once personal mementos, have taken on a new purpose. Many now appear in educational programs and public awareness campaigns led by organizations like Oceanwise and the Marine Education Society of Australasia. They help teach kids and adults about marine ecosystems, plastic pollution, and how every action we take on land can eventually impact the sea. One of the most iconic images, captured just after the whale's release, shows the calf mid-jump, sunlight sparkling through the ocean spray. Today, that photo hangs in classrooms, visitor centers, and marine labs around the world. Each year, as the humpback whales return to British Columbia, Mark returns to the water too. He slips beneath the waves with his camera and a quiet hope, scanning the horizon for familiar silhouettes. The ocean is vast, and the odds are slim. But he never stops looking, because what he found that day wasn't just a whale in distress. It was a connection, a silent moment of trust between two species, built on instinct, timing, and something deeper that science still can't quite explain. If you found today's video interesting, don't hesitate to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Your support is very important to us. Be sure to check out the next video appearing on your screen. You're sure to love the content we bring. Please leave a comment about which country you'd like us to explore next. Thank you for watching, and see you in the latest video. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.